Welcome back to the channel, Guitars, Mods, and Music. I'm Paul, and today we're going to personalize this PRS single cut standard S2. We're going to put on a pick guard and some tuner buttons, both pearl. This beautiful mahogany body with that white pearl, going to offset nicely. We're going to go through the tricks and tips of doing it, so when you put your guitar back together, your pickups are going to be the same height. Everything's going to be just how you had it before, just the way you liked it before. This is not a sponsored video. This is all our stuff, just what we do on this channel. This is the cheapest and fastest way to customize, personalize your guitar. First thing we're going to do is change out these buttons. These PRS take a little Phillips, small Phillips head. I use my Music Nomad kit for this. Like I said, it's not a sponsored video, just what we use. Make sure you use the right size bit. Them kits have several different size Phillips. It's actually the smallest one that comes in the Music Nomad kit. The old rule, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Well, they'll slide off pretty easy. Now that you could use the same screw, PRS screw, but it's a little bit longer. So I'm going to use the screws that came with the button. They're a little bit shorter. Now when you take these off, you pull these buttons off, you got to be careful. There's 3 washers here. A lot of guitars have 2 washers. Some of them only have 1 washer. PRS has 3. There'll be a black one, a white one, and a black one. Just like that. The white one's sandwiched there in between them. Take your button. The recessed side that's recessed, that's so the screw will lay down in there nice and smooth. It's the other side, it'll have that little rim on it. That's what slides up on there. Slides just on there just like that. Now when you tighten these up, you don't have to go crazy on it. It's down there, it starts turning, hang on to it. You can feel it when it's snugged up. Test it a little bit, push her down hard. Make sure you got them washers all squished together good. Then run through and put them all on. Same process. Save your old screws and your old buttons. Put them in a bag, label them with the part number of the guitar, because if you ever want to get rid of the guitar or change it back, a lot of people like the original parts on guitars. So, you know, it's easy enough. Put them in a Ziploc bag, magic marker, write down what guitar it goes to. Keep it with the guitar. Keep it in the case. All right, got the tuner buttons on. Got the originals in a bag. I'll label them later. Tuner buttons. They look nice against that dark mahogany. The family took a vote on what to do with the pick guard, so came up with the pearl. Everybody thought the pearl looked good against it. That's what we're doing. Moving on to the pick guard. As always, if you like the way your pickups are set up, the height of your pickups, you want to keep them in the exact same spot, I get one of these dial calipers. You can get them at the hardware store, Amazon. They're not expensive. Get them for $12, $14. They're great for working on guitars and other stuff. So you just zero it out, set it on the pick guard, bring it down till it touches, lock it in, and write down what you got. I've got it set on inches. You can set it on millimeters. Okay, once you have the pickup height wrote down, time to take the strings off. Here's a tip. A lot of people just go cut their strings off. I'm a believer in loosening them up. Think about it. You got the tension on there and you just go clip, 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 clip. You got that neck bowed like that, and just all of a sudden you're going to let her go. Loosen the strings up a little bit where it comes down easy. Then you can cut them off. You got lock and tuners. You don't have much in there anyway, so loosening up the lock, pull them out. Let's get these strings off. All right, after you have your strings off, it's a good time to clean your fretboard and them hard to get places. You know, you might as well do it while you got the strings off. So we've got our measurements off our pickup, so we know what height to get them back to. Strings are off. We're going to take off our volume and tone. Again, you can use a spoon, put a little rag under it, whatever, use a spoon. I use this little deal from Music Nomad, that little kit I was telling you about. It has a little cushion on the back side of it. Slide it right under there, wiggle it up. Boom, just like that. These knobs are going to look good against that pearl pick guard. Look at that. Once you have them off, go ahead and pull the screws out of your pick guard. They're the ones that run around the outside. Now some people will go ahead and do their pickup screws first. There's little springs in there. I choose to wait until after I have the pick guard so I can actually hold on to the springs. They'll go down, get stuck to the magnet. Be sure to use the right size Phillips, as always. All right, got all the screws out. Just gonna gently lift it up. Oh, they put a nice little cushions under there. Nice. These are the number 7 pickups. They're made by G&B. So now you're going to take the screws out on both sides of your pickup. I like to reach behind there like that. Again, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. When you feel it come out, you know you can go ahead and grab that spring and you're not going to have to peel it off the magnet. Now the same tool that I used to pop them knobs off will take these nuts off the pots as well. I like to hold the bottom of that pot with my fingers so it don't spin on me as I take these off. Has them little teeth on it right there. And again, when you put these back together, they don't have to be super duper tight. Alrighty, that one's off. Gonna reverse the process, putting the new one on. And again, I'll label this so I know what it came off of. Keep it with the case. If I ever want to put it back on or ever want to sell the guitar, the original pickguard can go with it. So one of the hardest things is sliding that screw through, putting that spring on, and getting it started into the pickup. It's a mission. But if you take an alligator clip, put the spring on, use that alligator clip to hold that spring back, now you can line it up with the hole in the pickup and get it started. I used to push that spring up and take a bread tie and tie it around the bottom of that spring and then started it that way. And one evening I was watching Phillip McKnight, the Know Your Gear podcast, and he showed that little trick with the alligator clip, and I said, yeah, there you go. Smart one, Phil. That works great. So now we need to put our pots back in, tighten them up. Washer goes on first, then the nut. I keep my fingers on the bottom of the pot. That way it don't turn, you start busting wires off. See them little teeth on there? Put them on the side you're going up against, and that's all it takes. You have them on, tightened up, everything looks good. I go ahead and I start all my screws. Once I have all my screws started, then I start tightening them up. Once you have your pick guard all screwed back down, put your knobs on. Turn your pots all the way up and then align that tin to where you can see it. Now it's time to bring your pickups back up to height that you wrote down in the beginning. So what I like to do, I'll go ahead and open it up to the height that I'm looking for, and then I lock it in right here. Then I just bring it up to that height. Bring it up till it hits. I got the pickups set back to the proper height, and I'm gonna smack a new set of strings on her. So there you go, pretty sharp, pretty sharp. That white pearl offsetting that dark mahogany. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She's all stringed up, dressed up, and ready to go. You know I'm gonna have to do now, truss rod cover. I can see it. Have to see if I can find a truss rod cover. We picked up the pick guard and the buttons from John Mann's Guitar Vault on Reverb. I don't get anything for telling you guys that. I'm just where we found he has a lot of PRS stuff, and that's where we picked him up at. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. We'll get back to you. Have a great day, a great week. I'm Paul Hopley, and remember, play your guitars, mod your guitars, and make them your own.